Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday, the 11th of August 2024. In today's Mill news, there is no news really, and there isn't on a Sunday. If you're new to this channel, it's been going a while, and if you don't know, on Sundays, what I like to do is look at the numbers from the game on Saturday. So if that's not your bag, I fully understand. These videos don't get a lot of views, and that's fine. It is kind of interesting in a way, but also I can understand and see the point of view where you would consider it absolutely boring as hell. So let's get on to it. So this is from whoscored.com. It's we're looking at the numbers from Millwall 2, Watford 3. And as you go down, this is the match report. It says Millwall created a high number of chances relative to their possession, stole the ball often from the opposition, and dominated aerial duels. We lost possession often, though, and we attacked down the right-hand side, and we favoured long balls, indeed. So, there were 16 attempts on goal by Millwall and 10 by Watford. This is kind of weird. This website always has the home team as this kind of orange-red colour and the away team as the blue colour, which is kind of weird as a Millwall fan to see your team represented by the colour red, but it is what it is. So Millwall 16 to 10, 7 to 6 open play, 9 to 4 set pieces, so 9 set pieces. And that means when we scored 2 goals from 16 shots, that is a conversion rate of 12%. And Watford having 3 goals from 10 shots, it's a conversion rate of 30%, which is incredibly high. One of the highest I've seen for a championship game in quite some time. As I said, if you're new to this channel, I've been doing this a while and we use this website a lot. That is quite high for a championship game. Now, as you can see, Watford were going down their left flank and we were going down our right flank. So both teams going down the same area of the pitch. Which meant Romain Esse was very busy. And obviously a lot of fans probably picking him out as not being as good as he should have been yesterday, but he had a lot to do because half of Millwall's game went down that side. And I would suggest that before, obviously, once the substitutions were made and we had Adamo on the left, then most of the game went down that side, so it would have been actually a bit higher. So let's just scroll through this stuff. So the shot directions, you can see there. Shot zones. 19% of our shots are in the 6-yard box, half are in the 18-yard box, 25% from outside of the box. Action zones, mostly in the middle third. Player positions, here we go. Look at this, very compact by Millwall. This is the average player position on the pitch based on where they've done all the stuff, the tackling, the touching of the ball, the passing, what have you. One thing to note, Tom Bradshaw, playing very deep. So we have what looks to be supposed to be a 4-2-3-1, ends up being basically, you could say if you're generous, a 4-2-4, but realistically it looks like it's 4-5-0. There is no one up front. That's not ideal to have your main attacker not doing any attacking really. And you can see obviously going down that right hand side, Ryan Leonard further up the pitch just, and definitely 23 and 24 sitting in deep, and 23 slightly ahead of 24. So George Saville doing more attacking work, and Casper Nor I suggest told to sit a bit deeper. So there we have it. Now moving on to this, which is the match center from whoscored.com. So here we have the match events. Obviously a yellow card for them after 7 minutes. the goal from the corner on the 22nd minute, and then nothing until the half time when we got the free kick from Ryan Leonard. They got a yellow card and led to the goal from Chekvatadze. I've learned how to say his name now. Georgi Chekvatadze. And then immediately after that, obviously, as I've said, clockwork substitutions. Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's 60 minutes. Let's make some substitutions, shall we? Romain Esse coming off a Damian Maku, George Honeyman coming off a Macaulay Langstaff. 10 minutes after that, we score through Duncan Watmore. And then they make the changes immediately after that. So they I think by that time we were getting involved in the game. They knew something was up because they would have had the substitutions like, come on, let's go. And then as soon as we score, it's like, okay, quick, let's make the changes. We make some more changes 10 minutes after that. Bradshaw coming off, Ryan Leonard coming off for McNamara and Nisbet. And then we get the incident, the bit of a melee with Joe Bryan. What did he get booked for? No idea. Did he say something? I don't know. It's another one of those weird decisions. Like Geezer gets pushed to the floor and he gets a yellow card. What's that all about? Shortly after that, George Saville assist for Duncan Watmore, 2-2. Of course, our heckles are up. We're off and away. We've obviously got the feeling, and we should really that. Oh, this is it. We're gonna win 3-2. Let's just keep busting it. Especially when we got the sign up that said, was it something like 9 minutes of extra time? And that was not the plan because 2 minutes later they score. Some suggestions it should have been offside. When the guy kicked it, the player was onside. What happened though is it hit the Millwall player and then got a deflection. So from when the Watford player actually kicked it, the guy was onside. When the ball moved forward at a different angle, because if you look at it when you're watching the game, you don't realise the forward ball came from the deflection. It got a bit of extra speed, so you're thinking that's the kick. So from the deflection, he was offside, but from the kick, he wasn't. If you understand what I'm trying to say. And then they make a late substitution at the end to try and shore it up. It's like I said, 9 minutes of injury time, and there's still 6 minutes to go when they bring Tom Ince on. So here we go. This is, if you look at the club badges at the top left and top right, you can see the average player rating for Millwall and Watford is 6.51 for Millwall and it's 6.85 for Watford. So Watford, their players got a higher rating according to this website, whoscored.com. We don't really know how they do their ratings. We do know players that do stuff get higher ratings. So players who win aerial duels, players who do tackles, interceptions, and definitely players who score. So Watmore given the man of the match 8.4, which is unusual, but not really because he scored 2 goals. But obviously unusual in a normal game of football. The man of the match would come from the winning team. It's a kind of unwritten rule that the winning team, you would just pick one of their best players and give it to them. But this is a numbers game, and Watmore scored 2 goals. And he gets the 8.4 rating, which is higher than a lot of other players on the pitch, especially Millwall players. The closest seems to be Chekvatadze, 8.2. So there you go. As you can see, we have Saville in the post, Honeyman in the post. That's what that little thing means. Now, the lowest rated player for Millwall, indeed on the whole pitch, was Jensen. No surprise really. Clearly at fault for one of the goals, in my opinion. For 2 of the goals, the goal from the free kick as well. And I will touch on that in a minute when we move on to the different website where we get the XG. I know you love the XG. What do you think an XG from the corner is? I'll tell you, it's not a fucking lot. It's not a lot. You should not be scoring. You're not expected to score from a corner. Interestingly, the second lowest rated player for Millwall, SA 5.9, and then Cooper was 6.0. And The three highest for Mill: Watmore 8.4, Saville 7.5, and Leonard 7.2. And I would, I think I would agree with that. I think they've got that spot on there. I think Watmore, but then Amaku's 6.5. Obviously he was on the pitch for less time, but he did do a lot of stuff when he came on. So interesting that he only got 6.5. So if we go down, these are the ratings. We can toggle through it and show. So if we do that, we can see that Millwall had 16 shots. They had 10. Which individual players had the shots? So everyone on Millwall had a shot except for Ryan Leonard and the keeper. The striker, the one that we've just seen on the previous slide, who wasn't up front, who was dropping deep, he had one shot. He was on the pitch for, what was it, 80 minutes, 75 minutes? He had one shot. Honeyman had 3, Saville had 2, Joe Bryan had 2 shots. So Joe Bryan had more shots than Tom Bradshaw. And then Duncan Watmore had 3. So 2 goals from 3 shots. Not bad at all. Now, interestingly, a bizarre concept. Watford, they play these players up front that we call strikers, and their strikers, one had 3 shots, another had 2 shots, and Bayo didn't have any shots. So they generally use their strikers to take their shots, and none of their defenders had any shots on goal, unlike ours. So there you go. Now moving on to possession percentage. Rather unusually, even at home, we had more of the possession. We had 54.2% possession to what was 45.8%. And generally, when that happens, we do not do well. As I've said, been doing this for a while. When we have more possession, that does not mean we win games. We win games where we don't have possession. Basically, I would say the lower the possession, the more likely it is that we're going to win the game, or we get absolutely thumped, like the Leeds away game. So it's either like we lose 3-0 or we win 1-0. So here's the possession, and it's broken down by player. So you can see there, check for Tadze. He had 4.8% of the match possession just with the ball at his feet, compared to our striker, Tom Bradshaw, 1.1. So what is the purpose of Tom Bradshaw? Seemingly just to run around and confuse people. I don't know. In terms of who had the most possession for Millwall, obviously Brian, 6.9. So obviously he was the outball, with Cooper next to him, 6.7. And interestingly, in terms of we were mostly going down the right hand side, Romain Esse only having 2.5% of the match possession. Interesting. Pass success percentage. So in terms of completed passes, how many were completed? So Jensen, 48. Jensen, that's high for a keeper. So obviously he was doing. See, we know he's good with the ball at his feet. Not very good at shot stopping though. Hopefully he's not George Long Mark II. In terms of other players, Denor 87, Esse 79, Leonard 82. So again, they're good at keeping the ball. They can pass it around, but that doesn't lead to goals. It doesn't lead to. Well, we did have chances, 16. But didn't really lead to the goals. Dribbles, 9-4. Watmore, 3 dribbles. The headless chicken that some Mill fans have labelled him. Well, he scored 2 goals yesterday, and he was arguably our best player. So that's not bad for a headless chicken. Ryan Leonard had 3 dribbles. So there you go. Aerials 1. Now we lost this one. It was 21-27. Pollock 112. So obviously he's jumping up there, I guess, with either Bradshaw or Esse. Yeah, no wonder he's going to win them all day long. 12 aerial duels he won on his own. SA didn't win one. Honeyman didn't win one. Dinor didn't win any. Cooper won 6. Hutchison with 6. So yeah, that doesn't seem to be that good. Let's pump it up. Let's pump it up up to Tom Bradshaw, who isn't even up there most of the time, and then wonder why it's not really working out. We lost the tackles as well, apparently, 18 to 20. That just means that they had to tackle more. Obviously, if we got possession of the ball, they have to tackle us more to get the ball. I guess you could suggest that. Interestingly, Jake Cooper didn't make a tackle, or he didn't have a successful tackle, and Watmore didn't make a tackle either. Saville with 3, Leonard with 3 is the highest. Corners 5 to 5. These are players who I believe who have won the corners. So again, Emakhu winning 2 corners within 5 minutes of coming on. Emakhu winning 2 corners, and that's what you want when you have a winger. What do you want a winger to do? You want him to bomb down the wing and either get the ball into the box or get you a corner, especially with the way we play with the set pieces. So here we go, another reason to play Adamu Emakhu. Dispossessed 12 to 8. That's having the ball taken off of you. Yes. Romain Esse 6. I can see that is the thing that is his Achilles heel. That he tries to do stuff and the ball gets taken off of him. And that's the way he plays. That is how it is. A lot of people saying you should put him in the middle. If he does that in the middle of the park, it could be quite sticky for us. In terms of if we've committed men forward and then he loses the ball and then there's massive gaps in the middle of the pitch, boom, quick counter attack, slam, bam. Whereas if you lose the ball on the edge of the pitch, you can show them the outside, maybe hope to slow them down, get a free kick. You know what I mean? So be careful what you wish for, like putting SA in the middle of the pitch if he's gonna keep giving the ball away. So yeah. Now, moving on to this, also from whoscored.com, it's an actual most of what we just seen, but in a list form, but there is some extra stuff, which is why we look at this. So let's sort this by the ratings. Duncan Wanmore 8.3, George Saville 7.5, Ryan Leonard 7.16, Sean Hutchinson 6.63, Joe Ryan 6.5, and George Honeyman 6.52, and Adamu Emakhu 6.48. So 7th. Now obviously that was with 30 minutes on the pitch, around there or thereabouts, and maybe 38. So he got a rating to be high 7th, and you can see here. So you got a rating of 6.48, but only having spent about 35 minutes on the pitch. Tom Bradshaw, having played 83 minutes, got a rating lower than the substitute Adamu Emakhu. So that suggests Adamu Emakhu did more in that match in the short time that he was on than Tom Bradshaw did. And that's quite clear to see. Also, Adamu Emakhu, in his 35 minutes on the pitch, had 14 touches of the ball. In the 83 minutes that Tom Bradshaw had on the pitch, 16 touches of the ball. Tom Bradshaw was chasing shadows. Chasing shadows, quite literally chasing shadows. He did not touch the ball. 83 minutes, 16 touches of the ball. Oh dear. Who did have the most touches of the ball for Millwall? It was Ryan Leonard with 78, Joe Bryan with 74, Casper Dinor with 63, Saville with 60, Cooper with 60, Hutch with 57, and a massive drop off until 41 for Duncan Watmore and 41 for George Honeyman as well. So there you go. Aerials won. We've seen that. Well, we have seen that. So shots on target. So we've seen it. How many shots each player had and how many shots Millwall had. It was 16. 16. How many were actually on target, though? 4. We had 4 shots on target. Now, the ones that hit the bar, obviously they're not on target because they hit the bar. The bar is not the target. The target is the goal. The goal is inside the bars. It is not the post and the bars. It is not the bars. So the bars are off-target shots. So we had 16 shots. 4 were on target. And we scored 2 goals from 4 shots on target. That's pretty good. What isn't good, now, if you haven't seen this previously, a pattern seems to be emerging in terms of halving each time. What do I mean by that? So the amount of shots you have, half of them should be on target, and then half of those should be goals. Yeah? So if we have 12 shots, 6 of them should be on target, and we should be scoring 3 goals. If you do that, that is you running on premium. That's really, really good. To go half and then half. So we had 16, and then 4, and then 2. The 4 and a 2, that's good, but the 16 shots are a highly wasteful amount of shots. So let's move on. Offsides, Hutch and Langstaff. So Langstaff wasn't on the pitch for long, got offside. Defensive stuff. So who did all the defensive stuff? Leonard with 3 tackles, Saville with 3, Hutch 2, Brian, Denor, Esse with 2. So Esse with 2 tackles. Interceptions. Hutch, Brian, Leonard, George Saville, Casper Denor. Clearances. Hutch with 2, Saville with 2, Bradshaw with 2. So you've got Tom Bradshaw, your striker, making 1 tackle, doing 2 clearances. Okay. Blocked shots, so Hutch and Saville. So 2 of Watford's shots were blocked. So let's have a look actually at, so Watford. Was it 10, was it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. 10 shots, 2, 3, 4, 5 on target. Exactly what I said. This is a good day for them. 10 shots, 5 on target, 3 goals. It should have been 2.5. You can't have 2.5 goals. That's how you win. However many shots you had, half of them need to be on target, and then half of those need to be goals. And when you do that, you win games. Easier said than done, though. That's post hoc rationalization of the stats by looking at it and saying, oh, this is what winning teams do. They have these amount of shots, then half of those are on target, half of those are goals. That is a win. That's what winning teams do. But then, how do you end up doing that? Passing wise, who had the most passes? Cooper, Denor, Joe Bryan, Ryan Leonard. But passing accuracy, Edomu Maku, 2 passes, 100% accurate. 3 crosses though, they weren't accurate. The highest accuracy in terms of a decent sample size, Denor, 86.8. In terms of crosses though, Joe Bryan 7 and 2. So the crosses weren't accurate. Look, Leonard 4 and 0, 3 and 0, 3 and 1, 2 and 1. Esse, the 1 cross he did was accurate, 1 and 1. Long balls and accurate long balls. Lucas Jensen, 15 long balls, 3 of them were accurate. So he had 23 passes, 15 of those were long balls. So that means he had 8 short passes, which explains why his passing accuracy is up to 48%. So obviously he was pumping it long to, I guess, Tom Bradshaw, and the aerial duels were not being won. And we've got Joe Bryan 10 and 3, Saville 8 and 2, Ryan Leonard 6 and 2, Jay Cooper 6 and 2. So again, the long balls were just wasted, completely wasted long balls. So that's a picture of the game. Now, if we move on to this from fbref.com, it's the match report from Millwall 2, Watford 3. You can see in the middle between the badges, the XG was 2 for Millwall and 1.1 for Watford. We scored the amount of goals that we should have scored, 2, exactly. They should have scored 1 goal, they scored 3, which again suggests to me 2 of them shouldn't have been scored. We know 100% one of them shouldn't have been, and it looks like the other one shouldn't have been scored as well, which kind of backs up my claim, saying that the keeper should have done better with that free kick. Okay. Again, here's the match events. Here's some more numbers. Passing accuracy in terms of total passes. So we had 431 passes. We were passing it around. 74% of those were accurate, which is the exact accuracy as them off of 378 passes. Shots on target, half of their, as I've just mentioned, half of their shots were on target, 50%. 19% of our shots were on target. Saves, Jensen made 1 save of 5 that he had to make, and their guy made 1 of 3. So their keeper made more saves. And here's the pure numbers in terms of fouls. It was 11 to 15. Corners, it was 5 to 4. Crosses, 22 to 8. So we were pinging balls in, but again, to whom? They weren't going anywhere. Touches of the ball, 526 to 495. Tackles, 18 to 20. Interceptions, 14 to 11. Aerials, 120 to 26. Clearances, 12 to 29. Offsides, 2 to 1. 2, okay. Goal kicks, it's not listed here. It says 4th. Did we not have a goal kick? Did we not have a goal kick? We must have had a goal kick. 27 to 13 throw-ins and 68 to 67 long balls. So again, Watford not really looking good in the numbers, just in terms of the goals that they scored. You can see here, this is a whole spreadsheet of numbers from the Millwall squad. So we can see here, Duncan Watmore, 3 shots on target, 2 goals. Not bad. Off of 37 touches. His XG was 0.5 and he scored 2 goals. So he had a personal XG of 0.5 and he scored 2 goals. Wow. He had a shot creating actions of 5 SCA, and he had 23 passes, 18 of which were completed. He carried the ball 21 times, and 4 of those were progressive carries. What is a progressive carry? You can see it there. A progressive carry is a ball that goes towards the opponent's goal line at least 10 yards. And you think, well, that's not a lot. 21 carries and only 4. That's the most in the whole team. The next closest is George Saville with 3 off of 28. So the biggest attacking threat was Duncan Watmore yesterday. And if we look at Tom Bradshaw, he only carried the ball 8 times. 1 of those was progressive. He had 9 passing attempts, 6 completed. He had an XG of 0.1 because, of course, he only had 1 shot, which was not on target. And they're saying here that he had 15 touches of the ball and he made 1 tackle from 83 minutes on the pitch. Okay. So there you go. If we look here, Lucas Jensen, 4 shots on target against Sota, 4 goals against 3. He made 1 save. Save percentage of 25%. That's not good. That is not good. In terms of what are we looking at? If we look at some of this other stuff, actually, you know what? I'm not going to waste your time looking at that because we've seen all that stuff on the other thing. So here is the XG list. This is a list of all the shots and their XG. This is the goal. The one in green's goals. Edo Kayembe for Watford on the 22nd minute. The XG on that was 0.01, and I suspect that it's even lower than that. But they have to round it up. It's probably 0.0000001. But they've only got the 2 decimal places, so it has to be 0.1. 33 yards left footed from the corner spot. Goal. That is ridiculous, and that is the lowest XG from a shot on here, except for Joe Bryan's right at the end of the first half, 25 yards out, left foot volley. That was 0.01 as well. So yeah, that should not have gone in. And you know as well that it shouldn't have gone in because post shot XG, PSXG, post shot expected goals. So what they do with the XG, if you don't know what the XG is, obviously we have football pitches, they're basically the same up and down the country, up and down the world. It's all the same dimensions. The game is basically the same all over the world. They've analysed football games and they know, okay, a shot taken here, this is how many times it goes in. So if a shot's taken at this position with various other players in their positions, 1 out of 100 times it goes in, 10 out of 100 times it goes in. So that's what they know what the XG is. So someone's already done all that numbers, which you can do. It's easier to do now with all the computers and all that. That's what they've been doing with computers, rather than curing cancer. They've been creating XG calculators. So they know. Okay, this kind of shot, this kind of position on the pitch, this is the post shot XG. And you can see a lot of these shots, the post-shot XG is 0.00, especially the Millwall ones. So look at Tom Bradshaw's one shot, which was a header, 0.09. The post-shot XG was 0.00. Nobody scores those. That's why it's 0.00. It was off target. It was 10 yards out, and it was a shot creating action. So SA passed it to Leonard, who flicked it in for Tom Bradshaw. Whereas if we go down to their third goal on the winning goal, the post-shot XG on that was 0.91. So that's a point-blank header. It was 6 yards out. Not much the goalkeeper can really do with him. That's why it's literally, it's what that means is 0.91. 9 times out of 10, that's a goal. The chance of the goalkeeper saving that is just 10%, and it's 90% or 91% is a goal. So it was a point blank header. Obviously, people saying it was offside. It wasn't really offside. It was close, but it wasn't. But before it was taken, it was 0.53. After 0.91. So that was guaranteed to be a goal. It's a point blank header. But then you look at this and you can see, so Duncan Watmore, chances. The chances, there's goals that he scored, 0.12. The XG after that, 0.68. Before the first goal, 0.81. After that, 0.47. So he made the goals. And here's where we get with a free kick, which is why I'm like, hey, this shouldn't have gone in. This should have been saved. Again, the chance of that going in, 0.03. So 3%. Based on this is before it's kicked. Based on where the ball is positioned on the pitch and where the other players are. 3% chance of that going in. After he kicks it, it's a 20% chance it goes in, and it goes in. So that should have been saved as well. And that's down to the goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper's cost us two goals today, which is unfortunate. But in terms of, we did score 2 goals, which is unusual. In terms of, obviously, at the end of last season, we were trying to scrape out, trying to win games 1-0. We did score 2 goals. We did open up the game. We did come at them and put them under pressure and get back into the game when we were 2 goals down. So that is to be, that is to be applauded. But then you look at it and think, well, that was Watford though. Like that, they're one of the worst teams supposedly in the league. We can't be giving goals away to other teams with better defences because we won't be able to score against them. So we scored 2 against Watford because it's Watford. We're not going to score 2 maybe against maybe Sheffield United. at the end of the month, because they're actually pretty good this season. They just smacked Plymouth 4-0 at home because they got a decent manager and they've signed some decent players. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.